Alright, so I'm going to be showing how to open up and disassemble this ASUS ROG GL504G. Full model is GL504GV-DS74. Alright, so we're going to be replacing the charge port on here because it's having issues. It's not charging anymore. The customer said that they replaced the battery and then it worked until the battery died. So we're using a JS1, J1, or PH1 screwdriver to remove all the screws from the bottom. You want to keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and lengths. The way I do that is I put them flat side down like that on my desk in the pattern I remove them. So we got 4 here. Looks like we got 2 here. We got 2 out here, and then we got 4 more down here. The customer is missing a couple screws at the bottom. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue removing all the screws. If this video helps you out, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade and repair their devices as well. Or if they're interested in my random review videos, I actually have another channel that I'm trying to move the review videos to, but for now I'm kind of just putting them on both. But yeah, and if it helps you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. Other than that, let's go ahead and continue getting all these screws out and then pop it open. Alright, I have a feeling this screw is going to stay attached because usually MSI likes to do that. I guess not. Or not MSI, ASUS likes to do that, but I guess not in this case. Or maybe it was on this side and they popped it out. Alright, so anyways, we got all the screws out. You can see there's a little groove in between here and the bottom cover. Usually when it's this way, let's see if we can do it. I'm going to get my fingernails in there and then pull with my, or push with my thumb here and see if we can pop the clips. And it looks like it's coming from the side but not from the front. So we're going to go down the side first. Okay, carefully going down the side here to pop those clips. You can see this is kind of popping up. We're going to turn it around and then do the other side. Oops, I accidentally clipped it back in, but we're going to do the same thing on this side. Okay, so basically pushing on the palm rest and then getting under here. You can see the clips are popping up. We're going to close the screen now. Okay, once you get one side up, hopefully we can pull this. I'm going to get my thumbnail pushing down here and pulling up with my fingers here and see if we can run a fingernail or something along the front. And there you go. Okay, while kind of pulling up, you can see it pops up. I don't know if this was open before, so if yours is harder to open, that could be why. This, again, this is a customer's computer, right? So now we're going to lift it just like that, and the bottom cover came off really easily. So there you go. That's what it looks like. We'll set the cover aside. It is somewhat dusty in here, so I'm going to have to clean that up. But let's go ahead and take a look and see if we can see how the charge port looks. Okay, so here's the charge port. We're definitely going to have to pull the entire motherboard out to get that piece out. And most likely I'm going to just use a thermal heat gun to heat it up as I kind of like pull on it. Not sure if I'll be able to show that on video, but we'll see. One thing that has me a bit worried here is, you see this board? This thing looks kind of bad. So I don't know if it's actually their charge port that's bad or something here got burned. And if it's something here, maybe we can just replace that piece. And then I'm going to feel bad because I took a while to open this up to check. Anyways, let's go ahead and disconnect the battery first. We can get a thumbnail here. Okay. The battery has a little latch covering. ASUS likes to use this design. So you basically slide this metal thing over. Okay, you can see it slides up slightly. You want to be careful not to push it too hard. You don't want to rip that out. And then you'll know you pulled it far enough when you can see a sliver of the gray plastic piece. Right, then you can go ahead and pull up here and the connector comes out just like that. All right, we are going to actually take the battery completely out so that way we have more room to work. But I am going to have to test the charge port here first to see if power is going through each pin, because if power is going through each pin, then definitely it's not going to be a charge port issue. Alright, so we've got 3 screws there, and then it looks like 3 screws down here. Again, keep them in order because they can be different size, shape, and length. I think the customer did say they replaced the battery, like I mentioned earlier. It turned on after they replaced the battery, so it looks like they also replaced a 2.5-inch SATA hard drive here with an SSD. But we're going to pull this up, and there you go. The battery here ASUS model. It's right there. Hopefully you can see it. C41N1731. Okay, that's the battery model number. Kind of interesting. It has like some, I don't know, they wiped it with something. You can see that. That's kind of weird. All right. Anyways, we'll set that aside. And then after removing the battery, it's always a good idea to open the laptop and then press and hold the power button for at least 15 seconds to drain any residual power, right? This makes it a lot safer to work on, especially if you're going to do anything with the screen cable. It's very important that you hold the power button for that 15 seconds. It drains the capacitors and stuff and makes it less likely for it to fry something if there's still power stored in them. All right. Now that we got that, we're going to see about removing these, or this connector here, and take a look and see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to remove that, and we're going to remove this. Okay, now that we got that, we're going to go ahead and wiggle and pull this up. Okay, so I'm going to go from here, and then go from here. And you can see that looks toasted. I don't know if this area is fried as well. Okay, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to check if we get signal from each pin to the other, because basically looks like that's probably all it's doing. Is it just sending power from one pin to the other? If this is broken, you can see they have this GL504G DC board, revision 4.3. Okay. And this is a DC board, so I'm assuming that's to send the power, right? Wow, okay. I can't believe I should have opened this earlier, because, yeah, that might be the only issue. I might have ordered the charge port for nothing. All right, let's go ahead and test this. So what we're going to do, we got that. I'm going to go over the other components later. Well, we'll just quickly look at it. 2.5-inch SATA hard drive. If you don't know how to remove these, you can watch a few of my other videos. Basically, you remove this metal bracket, you can slide this over and then take that out, right? M.2 PCIe NVMe SSD, wireless card here. You can see the CMOS BIOS RTC real-time clock battery underneath this tape. Yep, this one. Okay, and it's a CR1220W. CR1220W. I mean, you can check yours. The bottom cover is easy enough to get off. And if you're too scared to get the bottom cover off to check it the first time, then you probably don't want to buy a battery, because you're not going to take it apart. Here's the keyboard connector here with a flip latch, touchpad, trackpad cable with a flip latch. The buttons have a connection there with a little flip latch. You got this connector for the, looks like the LED on the front, on both sides, one here and one on the other side. Okay, speaker plugs in up here, the other speaker plugs in up here. There's no screws holding it in place, it's just held in with this rubber. Okay, this is most likely LCD LVDS connector here. Usually these kinds of connectors, again, I have videos showing this on other models, but I pull up here and then I use my fingernail to pop that out. You got this connector going into the screen, most likely for, are there LEDs and stuff on there? Most likely for the camera and stuff like that. Actually it says RGB BL, so that's for backlights, I guess, RGB lighting. One fan connector here, another fan connector is hiding underneath the heatsink, it seems. You got wireless antennas going around from there all the way to the wireless card that's hidden under here. What else? GPU is here soldered to the motherboard, CPU is here soldered to the motherboard. You got one stick of RAM, you can pull these two tabs aside, pops up slightly. And this is a 16 gig PC4 2666V. All right, so you should be okay with any PC4 2666V RAM. Okay, and yeah, I'm probably gonna have to dust that off. Let's do a quick test here. So we're gonna test both components. So I got this voltmeter. Let's move this guy out of the way. Oh man, my customer's gonna have to wait longer if I need to replace this part. This one looks really bad, like how burnt it is. Look at that, you see that? Like it's physically crispy. Okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna test each pin and just see if they have power going straight through. I wonder if it's just a direct connection. Like, could you just solder wires directly from one end to the other? Okay, so we're gonna touch this pin to this pin. Yeah, it's hard to do this. Okay, I'm gonna do the ones that are probably not broken. I'm assuming, wait, is it from this pin to this pin? Do they move the pins around? I don't know. Okay, you can see we got direct 0. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Like, how do I keep this from moving around? I need something to hold it still. Okay, that's 0. Second one. Second one, I'm gonna go 1 in front and 1 in back, so that way. Okay, actually, you see all these are all like grounded together. Is that normal? This one has like a break. Like, most of these pins are just grounded. Is that what it's supposed to be? Just a direct ground? Look at that. See that? All these are just directly grounded to 0. It's like to each other. Except for this one pin here. And I'm assuming that's the burnt one. You see that? That's the burnt one. Is that all this is? A direct ground? I mean, if you look at the thing, it's just a solid layer. You don't see any like traces of anything anywhere. PCB, like usually you see a printed trace, but here on both sides it's just solid. There's no circuitry that's visible. I mean, there's multiple layers in here, so I don't know, they could hide stuff, but from looking at it, it's just direct ground. I don't know, it's just direct to each other. To like every single pin is just attached to each other. Like if I were to touch this side and then I touched over here, see that? Everything's just completely shorted to each other. All right, so that might be the issue. Let's go ahead and check this then. So we got this. This is the charge port here. What I'm gonna do, because I did check the charger and it is showing like 19.2 volts or something. See, so if we go here, okay, I'm gonna touch this to here and then this to here. Sorry, can't even see, but we're getting about, let me see here. Oh, why is it? Go back to auto. We need to see the power, not the resistance. There you go. Wait, now it's, oh, I think I know what happened. I think the charger shut itself off because it shorted to that burnt piece. So I'm gonna unplug it for a bit and then we're gonna plug it back in and see what we got. My worry is when that thing shorted and burned up, maybe something else is also burnt. So let's see here. Okay, let's plug this back in and see if it reset itself or if I'm gonna have to wait longer. Okay, so now you can see 19.82 volts, or you can only see the 19.8. But what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna plug this into the charger here. Okay, and I'm gonna see if I can check the voltages here. So I'm gonna get the voltmeter here so you can see, hopefully. There's a glare on it, but I don't know, it is what it is. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and check if we can check the voltages coming out of this. Okay, this is just gonna be straight direct because they're touching each other, right? Come on, okay. There's a coating on it, so it's, I think I have to like scrape it a little to get a, there you go. Want to make sure it's going into the board. All right, then we got this. We're gonna connect here. That's also to ground. This one should also be to ground. Yep. All right, now let's see if we get a voltage coming out the back. 19.8381. And the other one, I gotta be careful because it's, yep. So the two pins here in the back are going through, and then we got this. Okay, so we're gonna have to look for this board, and hopefully that will be the what's causing the problem. The problem is, since it burnt there, I'm worried that it burnt further in, and yeah. But anyways, I'm gonna have to let the customer know, see what they want to do. I'm gonna feel bad now because they were waiting a while. They gave me this while they were waiting for the charger and everything. I should have been testing that a while ago to make sure. I don't really see anything back here that looks... The thing that worries me a little bit is this cable also got a little bit burnt, but yeah, we'll find out. Okay, the other thing is the customer could technically replace that themselves. It's a very easy part to replace, so let me see what the customer wants to do, because now I feel bad. I made them wait all that time for nothing. I could have been waiting for the other part after I opened it and tested that. So I guess it's not a good idea to just assume what's wrong with it. The charge port, when you plugged it in, felt a little wobbly, so that's why we kind of, both of us assumed that it was the charge port. So yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna clean this up first. Let's put the battery back in, and then I'm gonna dust it off, and then I'm gonna let the customer know, see what they want to do. And yeah, we'll see if I can even find that replacement part, because since it's burnt like that, I don't know what else can be done about it. I could probably technically solder a wire from there to the other side, but then you got some exposed like connection there, so that might not be good. All right, it's kind of weird how they did that. I don't know why they made the points jump from there to there, but I guess we'll find out. And hopefully that will end up fixing it. Alright, so I'm going to dust this off real quick, and then I'll be back. I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, I'm back. So I'm actually going to leave this piece out for now because I don't want to put this back in and risk it causing more damage. We will put back in the screws though. All right, so this one went this way, so this was holding here. All right, you don't want to over tighten this because the chip isn't there anymore, so you don't want to tighten it too far down and then screw it in past where it used to be. Anyways, we're gonna get the bottom cover back on, and then push the back first, go down the sides, click everything back in, and then get all the screws back into place. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Sorry, we'll see if we end up having to replace the charge port. The one thing I'm worried is if we replace this, and if it's a charge port issue, if it will cause it to spark again. But from my testing, it seemed the charge port was good. I tested at the edge around where it was soldered, not from the pins themselves, and it did look like it had a good connection. If you look at this here, that solder is completely burnt off. Maybe I can do a solder job on that. Let me actually try that before I put all these screws back in. I'm gonna see if I can solder that little pin in place and then see if that gets a good connection, because if that works, then we might be okay to just replace it. So let's see here. The only thing is it's burnt pretty bad, so I'm not sure if solder is going to go in through there. Also, you see that exposed copper layer there? That shouldn't be like that, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be better to just get a replacement. Yeah, I'm probably going to do that. Anyways, I guess let's get all the screws back in, and then that's pretty much it. So all right, let's get all that back in. Again, hopefully this video helped you guys out. If it did, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share my channel with others so that they can learn how to upgrade or repair their devices as well. And if it helped you save a bunch of money, please consider contributing a little to the channel. Every little bit helps and allows me to continue making these videos for a living. If you can't help out that way, again, it would help a lot if you could watch a few of my other videos and then like and comment on those as well, because that's what the algorithm likes to see. And yeah, other than that, you're welcome to stay as I get all these last few screws in. Oh, I didn't reconnect the battery, but we'll do that later once we replace the little component. If you're wondering how to replace or reconnect the battery, you just get the thing back lined up, obviously push it back down, and then slide that metal thing into place. Maybe I'll try and see if I can solder this. If it gets a nice solid connection, then maybe I'll be back to show you guys the reinstallation of that piece. Basically, you just line it up and push it back down into place. But yeah, other than that, that's pretty much it. All right, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. All right, let's drop this. Bye. All right, so let's take a look. Maybe the solder was just like not done very well, and it caused it to go bad. I actually soldered this thing to repair the connection. So we're gonna see. All right, it's a little bit dusty. Maybe whatever dust is on here is what caused it to have that issue. It's possible. Okay, if that dust is conductive. Anyways, here you can see the part that I kind of repaired, so it's a lot better. You don't see that burnt little pin by itself anymore. So let's go ahead and let me show you again right here. So if I touch this to here, and then any of these pins, see, now it makes the beep. That means you got direct connection, right? Pretty much zero resistance. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're gonna reconnect that piece, and then we're gonna go ahead and plug it back in. Is there water here? Okay. So we're gonna reconnect that piece, and then we're gonna plug it back in, and we're gonna hope that everything is good. Hopefully it's not gonna start sparking or anything like that. So we're gonna go ahead and line this up, make sure this cabling is out of the way if we can. Okay, because we don't want it to get on fire if it starts sparking or something. So we're just going to line this back up. All right. You want to make sure it's completely lined up before you press it down, because you don't want to bend those pins. So push that in. All right, it went in nicely. And we're going to tighten this all back down. Okay, so I'm going to do this without the battery in, just to make sure that it's gonna be able to power itself completely by the charger itself. Let me see, I might have to plug it in and unplug it right away depending what happens, but let's see. Okay, so, oh, the moment I plugged it in, did you see that? Like some smoke came out. So, okay, it's staying on now. Let's see. There's no battery or whatever indicator on. Let's carefully lift this up, and let's push the power button. Nothing at all. So, most likely, because I did see smoke come out of this, most likely that thing is just burnt. Let's see if I check the connection from one pin to the other from this side. So if we check here, and then check here, let's see. I gotta scrape through this layer. There you go. So we have a solid connection there, solid connection there, solid connection there, solid connection there. So all these pins should be connected. The problem is, I don't know. All right, let's get the battery, and then let's see. So we'll push that battery in, slide that latch back down. Nothing. No sign of it charging the battery. Yeah, so whatever's going on, it's on this part itself, which is actually a bad sign, because that means, sadly, it's not a charge port issue. It's whatever's going in through this circuit, which probably is on the other side of the motherboard. Something is fried on there. So that's probably going to require some more expensive motherboard repair. I don't think just replacing this piece is going to fix it, especially since I tested now and all the pins are connected the way they were earlier. So let me pop this out again. Okay. And one other thing I can test, which I didn't test earlier. Alright, so let's see if we just test from this to this. It should all be, yeah. So all of these are always, I don't know, they just short them all together. That's weird. But as you saw, even after reconnecting that properly, then it just started smoking a little bit when we first plugged it in. So that means something within this board here is fried. So that's pretty much it. You already saw how to reassemble this. Hopefully this video helped you guys out to see if you thought it was a charge port and you replaced the charge port and it's not working. Then this board is likely toast. There's another thing I noticed here is this looks kind of bad. So I don't know, but it does seem like from the looks of this, it should just be a solid like direct connection. So since I checked all the pins and they're all connected, it shouldn't be an issue with that. Anyways, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.